No plan to end school session earlier than scheduled. Only top party leaders can travel interstate for campaigning in Sarawak. Good evening, I'm Jessica Lee. Welcome to News at 10. The question of whether schools should be closed or not due to recent cases of COVID-19 infection will be decided after advice from the Ministry of Health MOH. According to Senior Education Minister Datuk Dr. Rasmi, for now, school session will continue until the end of the current term, which is expected to be end of next week. Datuk Dr. Rasmi further explained that the Ministry of Education is taking the necessary steps to avoid any further incident.
Kalau ada cadangan penutupan daripada Kementerian Kesihatan, kita akur. Itu apabila berlaku kes, pihak pejabat kesihatan daerah akan duduk bersama dengan pihak sekolah untuk memahami keadaannya dan membuat penilaian risiko. Kalau pihak Kementerian Kesihatan berdasarkan penilaian risiko kata sekolah perlu ditutup, maka kita akan tutup sekolah. Tapi pada waktu ini pihak pejabat kesihatan daerah membuat penilaian dan melihat ada sekolah tak perlu ditutup. Ya, ada sekolah seperti dalam kes sekolah Sri Putri sebagai contoh. Apabila ramai murid yang terlibat dan ramai guru yang dikuarantinkan, maka kapasiti di sekolah itu dah tidak ada, dan dalam konteks ini ramai yang menjadi kontak rapat, maka Kementerian Kesihatan mencadangkan meminta supaya sekolah ini tutup.
Meanwhile, commenting on the issue of teacher transfer, Datuk Dr. Rasmi said 55% of all applications for transfers for the 2021 session have been approved. He said this is the highest number of teacher transfers ever approved by the ministry. Those who apply can check on their status beginning tomorrow. Elaborating further, Datuk Dr. Rasmi said the big number was achievable mainly due to the intake of 18,702 new teachers.
Apabila kita lihat kemasukan ke negeri-negeri tertentu, ada keadaan di mana jumlah option tertentu ini terlalu tinggi. Ya. Kemudian di negeri-negeri lain itu dia agak terbuka. Dari sudut itu kita selesaikan kemasukan ke negeri-negeri yang mana pergerakan itu lebih mudah.
The record prior to this year was in 2017, which was 37%. The Ministry of Energy and Natural Resources will set up more early warning systems, especially on the possibility of landslides at risk areas. Its Minister, Datuk Sri Takiyuddin Hassan, said at the same time, the government will conduct an awareness campaign for people living in high-risk areas on the dangers of landslides. According to Datuk Sri Takiyuddin, among the areas already equipped with the early warning system are Gunung Jerai in Kedah, several locations in Sabah and highlands areas including Cameron Highlands.
Jadi kawasan yang berisiko tinggi akan diletakkan sistem amaran awal ni dalam bentuk digital lah. Dan di samping itu kita juga menjalankan kempen kesedaran, awareness campaign kepada rakyat yang berada di kawasan-kawasan yang berisiko tinggi ni. Kita tak mahu alat ada tapi kesedaran tak ada. Jadi dua serentak ni. Satunya sistem amaran awal, early warning system, dan juga awareness, kesedaran di kalangan rakyat itu sendiri.
Elaborating further, the government, through the Mineral and Geoscience Department, JMG, along with other agencies such as the Forestry Department, will conduct studies on the risk of using such a system. The government's move to allow the import of frozen whole chicken is expected to be able to help reduce the prices of the item in the market. The Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, or KPD and HEP Secretary General Datuk Sri Hasnul Zamzam Ahmad said The action was expected to result in excess of supply in the local market.
Dia bergantung kepada harga yang akan ditentukan melalui ayam-ayam yang diimport itulah. Ya. Jadi biasanya apabila ada bekalan yang lebih, harga biasanya akan turun sedikit lah. Itu biasa yang berlaku lah. Tapi kita akan lihat dulu apa dia kesan import ayam ini kepada penawaran di pasaran. Sekiranya kesannya itu membawa kepada penurunan harga, jadi itu adalah berita yang baik kepada pengguna lah. Maksud dia pasaran menawarkan harga yang kurang daripada apa yang ditetapkan oleh kerajaan.
Speaking to reporters after a visit to the Keluarga Malaysia sales program in Malacca today, he said KPD and HEP is also reviewing the maximum price of standard chicken for retail sale, which is sold at RM9.30 per kilogram, and wholesale, which is sold at RM8 per kilogram. In the future, if the prices of chicken in the country's market return to normal. A human trafficking ring has been crippled with the arrest of 12 suspects, including one of the syndicate's masterminds. Now, Johor Police Chief Dato' Ayub Khan Maidin Piche said the syndicate head, a 44-year-old Indonesian man nicknamed Janggut for his distinctive beard, was arrested between 5:30 p.m. on the 1st of December and 10:30 a.m. on the 2nd of December. Dato' Ayub said the suspect, along with the other 6 Indonesian men, 3 Indonesian women and 2 locals aged 22 to 50 years old, were arrested at 3 locations in Johor Bahru and Kulai.
Pada bulan Jun hingga September tahun ini, sindiket ini dipercayai telah mengatur lebih kurang 465 orang parti masuk dan 150 parti keluar, yang melibatkan 15 pendaratan di bot di kawasan Sungai Tengah, Bandar Penawar Kota Tinggi.
He said Janggut was assisted by his 2 trusted right-hand men, and they ran an organised operation that charged each foreigner 1,300 ringgit to bring them into Malaysia by sea from Batam or Tanjung Pinang in Indonesia, and 1,500 ringgit to bring them back to Indonesia from Malaysia. Police believe the syndicate members were also aided by other agents such as local community members in their illegal operations, including scouting for foreigners and lookouts. According to Dato' Ayub, the syndicate had been actively operating human smuggling activities near Sungai Tengah in Bandar Penawar Kota Tinggi since April this year. Internet coverage in Sarawak to hit more than 90% by 2022. The Election Commission does not allow interstate travel to Sarawak for campaigning activities during the 12th state election, except for the top 5 leaders of contesting political parties. The EC, on its official website, stated that entry to Sarawak is subject to the Standard Operating Procedure (SOP) currently in force and is limited to activities approved in the applications through the Enter Sarawak portal. The EC said the names of party top leaders must be submitted to the Sarawak State Disaster Management Committee, adding that all those involved must be fully vaccinated. The EC stressed that campaigning activities are allowed within the respective state constituencies. Cross-constituency campaigning is disallowed. The Commission also pointed out that ceramah and public speeches during the campaign period are only allowed in 64 constituencies with poor internet access. According to the EC, the number of attendees for ceramah and public speeches should be 50% of the premise capacity, or a maximum of 150 people at one time, and attendance is limited to residents of the respective village or longhouse. It is said that permission for inter-district or interstate travel for voting purposes is subject to the instructions in force. The EC added that voters in localities placed under the Enhanced Movement Control Order must undergo antigen rapid testing or RTKAG within 24 hours before the polling day. The voters who test positive for COVID-19 are disallowed to leave their houses or quarantine centres to vote in accordance with the Prevention and Control of Infectious Diseases Act 1988. The federal government will ensure that the construction of Phase 2 of the Sarawak-Pan-Borneo Highway from Pujuk to Lawas is continued. In his speech before opening the Serian Work 3 package alignment of the Pan-Borneo Highway today, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the federal government saw the highway project as very important for the people of Sarawak, not only to facilitate travel, but to improve the local economy. The construction of the second phase of the mega project had previously been approved by the federal government under Barisan Nasional, but was cancelled when the federal government changed hands after the 2018 general election.
Dan saya memberi komitmen kepada tuan-tuan dan puan bahawa saya bersama dengan Datuk Seri Fadilah selaku Menteri Kanan Pekerja Raya bersama dengan Ketua Menteri Sarawak yang amat berhormat, kita akan bincang bagaimana kita nak meneruskan fasa 2 red line dan missing link ini. Dan saya beri komitmen kita tidak akan berhenti setakat itu dan kita akan teruskan segala projek yang dirancangkan bagi Sarawak.
Apart from road infrastructure, Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri said the federal government is also focusing on internet access with a target of 100% coverage to be achieved throughout Sarawak by the end of next year. Sarawak's 4G internet coverage will reach 92% by next year after the completion of the first phase of the National Digital Network or JENDELA initiative. Communications and Multimedia Minister Tan Sri Anwar Musa said that next year, Sarawak will have 4G coverage that is almost the same as those in other states in the country when the government accelerates the process of upgrading the broadband infrastructure at a cost of 4.09 billion ringgit. During Sarawak FM's Rundown House program today in Kuching, he said as of the third quarter of this year, the 4G coverage in Sarawak had exceeded 83%, and by 2022, Sarawak should achieve 91 to 92% coverage. The government's main focus, Tan Sri Anwar said, is to upgrade infrastructure in remote areas to ensure fairness in the provision of internet access between rural and urban areas. So far, 61,414 premises out of the targeted 73,588 premises throughout Sarawak have been equipped with fixed broadband internet, while the remaining premises are in the process of being equipped with a fibre optics network with an allocation of 147 million ringgit. According to the minister, 79 new telecommunication towers have been built and 744 more are in the process of being built in the state. Coming up in sport, win over Cambodia can be confidence booster for Harimau Malaya at the AFF Cup Championship. Harimau Malaya's head coach Tan Cheng Ho is wary of fast improving Cambodia in their opening AFF Cup Group B match at Bishan Stadium in Singapore tomorrow. Now, wins over Cambodia and Laos in their opening two matches will set a positive tone for Malaysia before they take on heavyweights Indonesia and Vietnam.
Yang penting adalah pemain-pemain dapat memberikan tumpuan 100% dalam fokus dalam dua perangan, especially Cambodia dan Laos.
Under coach Rio Hirose, Cambodia have brought a mixed squad of seniors and newcomers to Singapore. The Japan-born coach aims to bring Cambodia to new heights in the competition. Cheng Ho said the Angkor Warriors have a few good young players and they play attacking football, which means the team will have to be cautious as they like to entertain the fans with their enterprising game. Meanwhile, national football squad captain Muhammad Aidil Zafwan Abdul Razak says the national squad must pick up all 3 points against Cambodia in the opening Group B match. The 34-year-old defender said a win in the first match was crucial as it would set the tempo for the Harimau Malaya squad for the rest of the championship in Singapore. Aidil said beating Cambodia would boost the confidence and morale of the players for the remaining group matches, especially the final 2 matches against defending champions Vietnam and Indonesia.
Saya harap kemenangan pada esok hari insya-Allah akan lebih menjadi kita lebih steady untuk ataupun lebih apa orang kata selesa untuk kita mencapai kemenangan seterusnya.
The two teams previously had also met in the opening group match of the 2018 edition, with Malaysia winning 1-0 through Nur Syahrul Idlan Talaha's goal at the National Olympic Stadium in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Meanwhile, Muhammad Aidil admitted that the team's short preparation time with no warm-up matches prior to departing for Singapore had caused some anxiety concerning the first match. In the meantime, he said Cambodia was a different and much improved team compared to 3 years ago and posed a threat with their fast-paced playing style. Young Johor Darul Takzim or JDT player Arif Aiman Hanapi has been crowned Most Valuable Player or MVP in the 2021 National Football Awards ceremony that was held online recently. The 19-year-old winger goes down in history as the youngest player ever chosen as MVP, surpassing teammate Safawi Rasid, who was 21 when he was selected as MVP in 2018. Arif Aiman, a talented player who scored 3 goals and made 3 assists in 31 appearances this season, was also named Best Striker and Most Promising Player in this year's awards. He was instrumental in the Southern Tigers' victorious campaign this season as they earned their 8th Super League trophy and emerged Malaysia Cup runners-up, losing 2-0 to Kuala Lumpur City FC on the 30th of November. Speaking after being announced as MVP winner, Arif Aiman, who is currently in Singapore with the Southern Tigers for the AFF Cup competition, said that his victory would not have happened without the support of JDT owner Tunku Ismail Sultan Ibrahim and his teammates. The winner of the MVP award was announced by Malaysian Football League MFL President Dato' Abdul Ghani Hassan. The JDT once again dominated the awards, with Matthew Davis winning Best Defender for the second time after 2017, while Farizal Malia celebrated his 6th Best Goalkeeper award, adding to his victories in 2009, 2015, 2018, 2019 and 2020. The JDT Brazilian striker Bergson da Silva collected the Golden Boot Award with a 30-goal haul in all competitions this season, and to round it all up, the Best Team Award went to JDT. The national women's squash squad have cemented their standing as Asia's best after beating Hong Kong and winning the Women's Asian Team Championship title. Malaysia's 2-1 victory over defending champions Hong Kong in the final at the National Squash Centre Bukit Jalil recently is the 10th time the country has won the championship. Top national squash player Rachel Arnold put a sterling performance to beat Liu Ziling 11-6, 8-11, 11-7, 11-2. Hong Kong, with 4 championship wins, made a comeback when Tong Zi Wing beat Nur Aina Amani Ampandi 11-8, 11-6, 6-11, 11-9. Malaysia, however, settled matters when 2021 Malaysian Open champion Aifa Azman dominated her match against Ho Zi Lok, winning 11-4, 11-3, 11-6. Meanwhile, the men's national squash squad also did not disappoint, ending the 13-year championship drought as they edged India 2-1 in the men's finals. Top national squash player Ng Yen Yao easily beat Malaysian Open champion 12-10, 11-4, 11-8, but India fought back through Mahesh Mangaonkar, who defeated Muhammad Shafiq Muhammad Kamal 11-9, 11-7, 11-8. Malaysia, however, ensured their 4th Asian men's team title when Ivan Yuan triumphed over Ramit Tandon 11-8, 8-11, 11-3, 11-1. The national junior hockey squad had to settle for an 8th place finish in their 2021 Junior World Cup JWC campaign after being thrashed 1-4 by Spain in Bhubaneswar, India today. In the 7th-8th place match at the Kalinga Stadium, Malaysia began brightly with a goal by team captain Muhammad Akimullah Anwar stunning Spain in the 4th minute. However, Spain quickly equalised through Edward de Ignacio Simo's field goal 3 minutes later, and both teams remained tied until the final quarter. Spain, who won bronze in the 2005 edition, however, pulled through with 3 penalty corners, namely from Pau Cunhill, 49th and 58th minutes, and Pepe Cunhill, 55th minute. Malaysia advanced to the quarterfinals as runners-up of Group A after beating Chile 2-1 on the 24th of November before being tied 1-1 with Belgium and beating South Africa 4-3. However, in the knockout stage, Malaysia was beaten 4-0 by France in the quarterfinals before being thumped 9-3 by the Netherlands in the 5th-8th place match. Malaysia's best achievement in the Junior World Cup has been finishing 4th, which they have done thrice, namely in 1979, 1982 and 2013. Now, Walter's men will now set their eyes on the next JWC to be held in Malaysia in 2023, the 4th time the country will be hosting it since 1982. Meanwhile, Malaysia's women's hockey special project squad's opening match against China in the 2021 Women's Asian Champions Trophy ACT today in Donghae, South Korea has been called off. The decision comes after a Malaysian player, Nurul Faiza Shafiqah Kalim, was confirmed COVID-19 positive after undergoing a swab test upon the team's arrival on the 29th of November, which led to the entire team being quarantined since the 1st of December. The Malaysian Hockey Federation (MHF) said in a statement recently that although they respected the organisers' decision, the federation was working with the Asian Hockey Federation (AHF) to find the best solution to enable the Malaysian Tigers team to play in the championship. Meanwhile, the AHF said in a separate statement that the Malaysian squad would not play today and tomorrow due to COVID-19 related issues. The federation say they and the Korean Hockey Association are doing their utmost to bring the Malaysian women's team back later in the event, as it is a key priority to allow all athletes and teams